Everybody, welcome back and Happy New Year. Today I'm out here on the beach. It's like 63 degrees out here, January 3rd. It's gorgeous, so I cannot complain. I absolutely live in paradise. Happy to be able to share some of this with you. And of course, recently the channel just crossed over 100,000 views. That's something I never thought I would do, but I'm really appreciating the community and the feedback and the response I'm getting from a lot of you. So please keep it up. I'm happy to hear that many of you are putting some of the techniques that I'm teaching to practice and really getting some great benefit out of it. Keep the feedback coming. Be sure to subscribe so you're able to keep up with all of the content that I'm planning on bringing out throughout this year and continue. We're gonna go for that second 100,000, but we're gonna do it in double time. We're gonna keep this going. So thank you so much, I appreciate it. So many of you know that as a reward or just to show my appreciation for the response that the channel has gotten, I held not a contest, but just told everybody to give me requests what they wanted to learn more about and have me talk about. So I wanted to do a few videos on some of the topics that are most wanted from you guys. Definitely chain whip and swords, definitely Tai Chi and Bagua, and the winner was Tiger Claw. So we're gonna talk about some Tiger Claw, and I'm gonna do a short series of Tiger Claw, not only conditioning, but also some technique and a bit of a form as well. So let's get going into some Tiger Claw. One of the most unique aspects, probably the most unique aspect of the Tiger Claw system is the hand positioning. And the hand positioning is a really, really awesome one to condition yourself with and to practice. It works well in fighting applications, and so it's great for true to life technique, but it's really incredible for conditioning. One of the great things about the Tiger Claw is the conditioning that you get on the back of the hand. It's much different from the grip training that we're normally familiar with by working these strength training muscles and tendons. When I lived in Colorado years and years ago, I was a really avid rock climber. Every weekend or many days after work, I'd make it up into the hills in the Rocky Mountains and climbing. I had a friend who was a really, really skilled climber at the time, and I used to go up into the hills with him. One day we had another individual with us, and we're all kind of just warming up and on our own rock faces, a little bit apart from each other so we could play around and get some good warm-ups going. And all of a sudden we heard, it sounded like a gunshot. And what happened, it's rare, but it happens to rock climbers somewhat frequently. The tendon on the back of the hand in the finger had ruptured from trying to pull and just didn't have the capability. And so one of the brands called Metolius, not because of this instance, but because it was a common thing and they knew you had to strengthen the back of the hands because we were often over-strengthening the grip part of the hands. And it was important not only to develop greater grip, but to keep the back of the hand healthy and keep us on the rock faces, was to strengthen the back of the hand. They came out with a contraption that was like a squeeze ball that had little rubber bands and finger loops that you slipped on your fingers, and you would expand the hand out that way to strengthen the tendons on the back of the hand, making the overall grip stronger and keeping you from doing bad things like rupturing the tendons on the back of the hands. So let's talk about the hand conditioning, just holding the position of the traditional Tiger Claw hand position for the beginning of the overall Tiger series. Let's have some fun with this. The traditional hold of the hand position for the Tiger Claw is, notice the ridges of the knuckles are pulled back, so you're really, really activating the tendons on the back of the hand. With a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of practice, you get that rope-like tendon on the back of the hand. And the thumb is at a really good angle there. So notice there's a little space in between each of the fingers, and there's a space between the tip of the finger. It's not totally closed in and curled in, but it's really activated and it's completely tight as possible, pulling back. And for this position, we can play with the wrist as well to get deeper into the forearm and really keep the hand position as we're curling the wrist forward and backward. And the idea with that is to just hold it until it absolutely burns, and then loosen and relax the hand, do a couple of counter grips, and get the circulation back in the hand, and then repeat it again for about a set of 10. So what I would suggest for beginners is hold it tight as possible for 30 seconds, then release and shake it out and relax for 10. And do 5 of those to begin with on each hand. You can also play around holding for 30 seconds, pulling back with the knuckles for 15 seconds, pulling down, exposing that pads of the hand for 30 seconds, pressing the butt of the palm out and pulling the knuckles back. And you can really just play around with a variety of it that way. The beauty of the tiger claw, the hand position, is that it's so versatile. It's an open hand grip. You can grab real easily from it. You're not confined to the fists, and it strengthens and conditions the hand. But from that open hand, you've got the palm strikes, the side hands, the ridge hands. You can close to a fist really quickly. You can grip really quickly. So it's one of the most versatile hand techniques. And because it's conditioning the hand so well, the hand is able to take concussion a lot better. So for blocking and doing stuff like that, if you accidentally hit a kick or catch an elbow, it's a little more forgiving than if you just have a fist. It's also much safer for the wrist as well. As long as you're not taking the force up at the upper part, you want to hit with that palm area that has that the backup mass behind it of the wrist. So striking with this, you want to practice hitting with that butt edge of the palm. And then remember, always thinking about that recoil. So in the beginning, when I'm teaching students from day number 1, I teach more about recoil than thrusting out with power and force. I talk about coming back quicker than going out. So I usually teach out slow and then back fast. So you're coming out, hitting, and then getting a little bit of penetration and pulling back rapid as possible. So again, you're working the muscles a little bit differently in that regard as well. So keep all that in mind, practice the hand positions, and then work a little bit of the striking. Of course, to make it real life functional and to be training good habits, you want your head crunched down, your shoulders up just a little bit, and start with a narrow stance, and then you're going to strike out and pull back and keeping the hands high. So think about that and getting that good recoil. That's it for today for your first Tiger series, but we'll do a little bit more. Next one's going to be on legs and stances, and then we're going to work on a little bit of fluidity, and then we'll do some dynamic movement. So enjoy this. Thanks again so much. Make sure you subscribe to keep up with all the content, and I'll talk to y'all soon.